of them.
Mic check, what up, vlog. My daily vlog is 6 episodes in. Today, I'm with my boy from Principles, George Shipton, also from the Shipton group. I don't know what that group is, but I think it's just him. But he represents Principles, good friend of mine. We've been working together for the past 5 years or so on a bunch of dope music projects. Some failures, but honestly, fuck it, we're still here doing it. So, my man George, tell me about yourself and tell me what you do in the industry.
It's a cold day in New York this morning. Here we go. So I'd known Dev for 5 years, met him at Beat Club with Timberland's old project. Been in the industry for a little bit, sort of 6-7 years now, straight out of uni, and sort of over the past few years just been building with artists. Kind of came to realize with Dev, Daniel, Sean C, and a few others that there was like a real opportunity to empower artists, connect the dots between brands, artists, labels, and really just give artists like a chance to build fan bases, build businesses, and be self-sustaining, and we're about a year into that business now, and have already put some big wins on the table.
Nice. Yeah, one thing that you've just heard is that he's from the UK, London. Actually, where are you from originally? I grew up in southwest London. We kind of moved out to the countryside with my parents when I was young, and I then went to university up in Edinburgh, which is where I actually studied music whilst I was there. Became really interested in the kind of cross point between music, technology, and culture. I ended up kind of really writing my whole thesis on, how the Napster episode changed the face of the industry, whether we see it for the good or the bad, and how the trajectory of everything after that kind of changed. And that's when I then was like, all right, I want to go and find build a career that really sits in that space, in between music and technology, which is why we crossed paths. Yeah, it's been a great evolution ever since. I've learned a lot about the UK scene. He's also younger than me, so about the youth and Gen Z. I don't know if he's Gen Z, but he's probably close. He's closer to it. Yeah, he's closer to it than I am. So he keeps us all a little bit younger. Tell us a little bit about the UK scene a little bit more, right? Like you live there. I know you travel a good amount, but you live there. You work with a lot of artists there. You love grime. You love UKG. You love, everything that's coming out of there. Tell us about that scene and your passion for it and where you see it heading and how artists can get to London. I know London is like a true bridge for the whole world, and you see people come through there all the time. Like, give some advice to artists that want to build there and tell your story about London and the UK.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of incredible music coming out of the UK at the moment. I was actually sitting in a taxi yesterday in New York, and the radio was on, and this Olivia Dean was playing this massive hit, Man I Need, which blew up in the UK. I didn't realize how big of a song it had become over here. It was kind of number one in the UK throughout the summer, and now it's number one US airplay over here. But there's so much amazing music coming out of the UK at the moment. Salt, Cleo Soul, Michael Kiwanuka, Little Sims, all very like soulful, jungle, soulful, jazz influenced at times, funk influenced, disco, and for me that's like a genre which I really love, but I think it kind of also reflects a real like bubbling creativity that's coming out of the UK and an authenticity that wasn't always there. I think we've grime was really a reflection of the UK developing its own voice. I think before then UK hip-hop especially was copying US hip-hop a little bit, and I think we've seen over the last 20 years a real evolution, and as I said, like seeing Olivia Dean on charting over here I think is a real reflection of that. We've always had that influence in the UK of the likes of the Beatles, Adele, Ed Sheeran having that huge kind of pop presence over in the US, but I think what we've now started to see is authenticity from artists really come through, and I think London's a great reflection of that. Yeah,
I love London. It's like the motherland for Indians. It's the second motherland. We can get into that later. I don't want to get too into any of that right now. But, gotta love the scene. This guy's an expert in it. Like, I ask him about anything when it comes to the UK. He's also great at working with artists. Like, that's something that's a common theme about everyone you'll probably meet that I introduce you to. We all love working with artists. We all believe in the artists. We know what type of impact it has on the world scale. We know what type of revenue and profit you can build if you build a real fan base. One thing that we were talking about while we were working out earlier is storytelling, right? Like what I'm doing right here, what we're doing right now, we're just storytelling, and I'm trying to keep it very lighthearted. But artists, it's really important for them to storytell, right? Like every time I go to a meeting with a label and I pitch some artists, it's like, what the fuck is the story? It's like, yeah, we heard the music. What's the story? This guy right here loves, help building that out with artists of all types. George, just give us like your thoughts on storytelling for artists and how you approach it when you have a conversation with artists and getting them going. Because I know you manage artists, you work with artists. Tell us your experience with storytelling.
I honestly think, as you say, it's just like a case of not overthinking things and being authentic to yourself. I think, especially in this era of data and so much analytics, people often kind of maybe try and cater too much to their audience. And actually, there's a quote, I think it's Noel Gallagher, that says the audience doesn't know what they want. Rick Rubin always reflects that as well. The audience didn't know they wanted Jimi Hendrix, I think is what he said, but they got him. And I think that's like can really be like a good way to look at storytelling as well. Don't think what your audience wants to hear. Don't try and like necessarily craft anything too far away from what's true to yourself and what's authentic. And yeah, that's kind of how I like look at it when I work with artists. I try and like get to that point. And also I think like make it fun. I think artists also sometimes see content creation and this whole like visual world as separate and a burden, but really, like, if you're willing to get in the studio and collaborate with people and create amazing music, bring that same energy to your visuals, bring that same energy to your storytelling, because like the audience picks up on that. They can hear if your music's great, they'll sit and listen to it, but if they can see that your visuals and everything that surrounds your visuals, the behind the scenes, the journey, the lifestyle, if they can see that you're having fun with that and being true to yourself, they'll connect with it way more.
I feel like that's really practical advice. I'm going through that right now. This is my 5th episode, and I always overthought this whole content thing. And then Daniel said something the other day. It's like, don't think too much on the scale side, or like, you don't need 5 million people. I don't need 5 million people to watch this. I just need like 20 of y'all, and I'll feel good because like I know it's going to impact those 20 people, right? Like the whole idea is just being authentic, talking to your audience, giving art to your audience, and you got to do it in the formats that people are most used to consuming, right? Like whatever that is. Before it was radio, it was vinyl, it was TV, MTV, internet, YouTube. Now we've had YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and there's gonna be more. There's gonna be these like little silos everywhere that you can build in. People just want to hear your story. If you make good music, I want to hear your story. If I like you as an artist, in order for me to like it more, I'll probably want to hear your story, and I probably want to work with you, right? Like I'm a little different because I'm in the industry. We're a little different because we're in the industry. But I think consumers really want to hear your story. All right, we're almost at 9 minutes, but I want to ask you about Principles. What should we expect from Principles going forward, and your involvement in that? Just talk about what's next.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next phase of Principles, if you like, is the relationships and the clients that we have worked with the last year. We've established really solid relationships with the likes of Mass Appeal, Paramount, Red Bull on the artist side, really exciting acts like Indo Warehouse, and a few others. And I think we're really like looking now this year to help just build and scale their businesses. We've created some amazing case studies, and I think as cliche as it sounds, we always try and keep rooted in culture and figuring out like where's our cultural impact, where can we really like move people rather than just seeing things as like black and white, or if just purely commerce. And yeah, I think that's kind of really going to be our focus over the next year, is continuing building great stories, continuing trying to move culture forward. Watch the live shopping space. We're starting to kind of move heavily into that. Massive opportunity for brands and creators alike. And yeah, I think we're also like looking to expand into new markets. I know Dev is obviously traveling the whole time out in India a lot. We're looking to work with more clients in the UK, in Latin America. So I think, yeah, this next year is really just about continue to build and create new stories.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for watching Dev's vlog. Name is still TBD. For now, it's Dev's vlog. But that was George Shipton from the Principles team. He's going to be back in London soon. If you're in London, hit him up. If you're around here and you want to talk to him, just hit up the description. Go to Principles, weareprinciples.com, or hit up George at principles.us. And yeah, he'll probably respond because he likes to give back. So yeah, signing off. See you tomorrow. Actually, today's Friday, so I'll see you Monday. Peace.